Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Toulouse, the dynamic pink city. I'd like to thank you for attending this roundtable, and we are all looking forward to learning more on how Toulouse is becoming the hub for pioneering, innovative and sustainable mobility and hydrogen-based technologies in Europe. To start with, I'd like to introduce the panelists joining me today. Welcome Thierry Cammal, Stephane Fregosi, Jean-Christophe Lambert, and Benjamin Fevre. Thank you for being here with us. And let me first tell you a little bit more about Toulouse and why Toulouse is pioneer in emerging technologies. Toulouse is one of the most dynamic regions in France. It all started with the aerospace industry with the unique blend of high technology and an innovative vision of the future. As the world capital of aeronautics and European capital of space, the city is where aerospace, digital technologies, and mobility intersect to create the emerging technologies of tomorrow. Everything in Toulouse can be manufactured, tested, and produced directly here in Toulouse, from underground to space, as an example from the metro, the autonomous shuttles, drones, aircrafts, or satellites. It's probably one of the reasons why the city hosted last June 22 the European Congress ITS, showing Toulouse value-added chain of intelligent transportation solutions. Toulouse is the city of solutions, a leader territory in autonomous and connected vehicles. Indeed, it perfectly illustrates cross-fertilization, how businesses, institutes, and labs create synergies and work together towards a more sustainable and green mobility. What a better way to showcase the cross-fertilization than talking about the 4 campuses we have in Toulouse, all dedicated to innovation and research. The most important for us today is Francazal Campus, the green hydrogen and mobility of tomorrow technocampus. It will be the largest innovation center in Europe dedicated to green hydrogen research, testing activities, and development of key technologies like decarbonization and green mobility. For this technocampus, our technical and first industrial partners are companies like Airbus, Safran, Liebherr Aerospace, and Vitesco Technologies. So I'm sure that some of the panelists will tell you more about it. The 3 other campuses we have in Toulouse are the Grand Matabio Digital Campus, coming soon. It's coming up in 2026 in the city center, in the very city center. And this campus will gather digital innovation players in digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. The second one is the Oncopole. Oncopole is the Health of the Future campus, and it's the campus for Life Sciences 4.0. It's a very huge hub for health. And the third one is Toulouse Aerospace. The area is dedicated to aeronautics, space, and embedded systems. And the best way to illustrate it is the B612 Innovation Center building, where cross-fertilization is happening through innovation projects, labs, businesses, and institutes working together under the same roof. Within the same building, you can find the Artificial and Natural Intelligence Toulouse Institute, which is called the ANITI, involving more than 150 companies, more than 30 laboratories, and you also find the Aerospace Valley, which is leading the European competitiveness cluster in the aerospace sector. But being the city of solutions also means being the city of talents. With excellent program, renowned university, research institutes, and grandes écoles, the city creates an extremely positive investment climate. Toulouse offers a highly qualified engineers with 25% of the European aerospace workforce based here in Toulouse. We talked about cross-fertilization. it also involves our pool of talents, as experts can work in several other sectors like health, transports, robotics, embedded systems, green and sustainable mobility. And this is the ideal spot for a business to be in. Our work at Invest in Toulouse is to help companies to set up their business and R&D centers here in Toulouse. As part of the Agence d'attractivité, we offer to entrepreneurs the opportunity to explore Toulouse's excellence in the form of technical visits within the ecosystem. The team support project managers throughout the entire duration of the development project, offering a free and confidential assistance. Now, I'd like to pass on our 4 panelists. Thierry Cammal, Allianz Global Vice President and Managing Director. Could you maybe tell us more about yourself and Renault Software Factory?
Yes, thank you, Patrice.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So yes, I'm Thierry Cammal. So I'm running the software factory for the group Renault. So you know about Renault and the alliance with Nissan, Mitsubishi. So I'm working as part of the alliance, but focus on Renault Software Factory. The site where I am here in Toulouse is a subsidiary wholly owned by Renault called Renault Software Labs, and this was created in Toulouse when we merged the people, out of Intel. I used to run Intel R&D in Europe. And at some point in 2017, we had to revamp a little bit the organization of Intel, and we got acquired by Renault in anticipation of the needs for let's say very much software competence requested, I think, for the vehicles, the future vehicles. As you know, there is a lot of evolution in the transportation, and we see more and more services popping up in the car industry. So we have anticipated that, and we have basically 2 major sites for this software factory, one in Toulouse, another one in Sophia Antipolis, and of course the rest is in Paris. So we are we are part of the strategic transformation of the group. And we are serving, I think, the needs for the group. To create mobility services in Group Renault. So we have done a lot of work already within Renault, I think, to let's say internalize, I think, software resources and to create a lot of software components and software services, I think, for the Group Renault. So I want to make it short and keep it like this. So you know that there is just one more word about what we call the Renaulution plan, which is the transformation of Group Renault since the arrival of our new CEO, Luca De Meo. And basically we have 3 phases to this plan. One was the resurrection, renovation, and revolution. So resurrection is behind us. Now we are moving into renovations with a set of new vehicles where software is very important. And revolution is what we are working on, which is the software-defined vehicle. So this means that we are having a vehicle which is built upon software, and we are creating a kind of let's say a car on smartphone on wheels, I would say, with this new approach. But I think I will have a chance to expand a little bit during the conversation. So thank you very much. So this is the introduction of Group Renault in Toulouse.
Okay, thank you very much, Thierry. Just maybe one more thing. How many people are located in Toulouse?
We are roughly 300 people in Toulouse right now.
Okay, thank you. Now, Stephane Fregosi, CEO of Vitesco Technologies, France. Could you tell a little bit more about your activity?
Yes, thank you, Patrice. So,
okay,
yes, Stephane Fregosi. So I'm leading Vitesco Technologies in France, and I'm also a vice president for the electrification part of the division for France. Vitesco Technologies is a young an old company. We are young because we have been created with a spin-off from Continental roughly in September 2021. So it's 1 year and some months that we exist as a standalone company. But we exist in Toulouse since the 80s, where I would say it was a subsidiaries of Renault electrical and electronic part. And we developed since then in Toulouse, I would say, system for the powertrain area of the car. So Vitesco Technologies is one of the major tier one for the car manufacturers in automotive. The group is having 7 billion sales in 2021. We are 37,000 people worldwide across 50 locations. In Toulouse, in France, we have 1,600 people, roughly one half for production, one half for R&D, and we are the second largest location for R&D for the group.
Wow.
So we are developing and manufacturing sensors, actuators, electronics control units, electrical motor for battery electrical vehicle and hybrid electrical vehicle. And maybe due to the fact that we have a panel which is, I would say, targeting the UK, just to highlight it, we have a cooperation, not cooperation, but we are supplying, and we are supplier to Ford UK since 20 years for electronic control units. So we develop software, electronics for engine management system. So it means gasoline ECU and diesel ECU, yes, in that time. And now we are also developing a vehicle controller for hybrid vehicles and electrical vehicles. So this was, short, but I think the most information you get. We are one of the big players, and it's not by chance that we are based in Toulouse. It's because for us, the kernel of or the area of electronics in France is Toulouse.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Stephane. Now, Jean-Christophe Lambert, CEO and co-founder of Ascendance Flight Technologies. I'm very pleased to introduce you, Jean-Christophe, because your company was supported by Invest in Toulouse a few years back. So tell us more about yourself and the company.
Yes, hi everybody, and thanks, Patrice. Ascendance has been founded, so we are a startup. We have been founded in 2018 in Paris, so we moved in Toulouse in 2020. The story began at Airbus when we were leading. I was leading an electric aircraft project at Airbus, and with 3 other colleagues who are my associate now, we have chosen to found Ascendance to develop the solution for more sustainable aviation. That means we are developing 2 products: one vertical and takeoff hybrid electric aircraft. That is an alternative to helicopter, bringing more than up to 80% of carbon emission savings. We also divide by 4 the noise compared to an helicopter, and it can be used for missions like people transportation, medical services, or surveillance. We also developed the hybrid propulsion system we provide to other aircraft manufacturers who are willing to decarbonize their fleet or their aircraft. So today we have some figures. We have 50 people in Toulouse, and you mentioned 2 premises or sites we know very well, Francazal, where we led some tests on the subscale aircraft that flew, but also the B60 612, where we have today the hybrid propulsion system at scale. So today we plan to develop. We created a lot of links with a local industry from the aerospace, but also from the automotive, because we have seen in the former presentation there is also a lot of activity in different sectors, but also with research laboratories and the school that is providing the talents for tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Jean-Christophe. You are the perfect example of the cross-fertilization in Toulouse, I think. Now,
exactly.
Benjamin Fevre, Head of Innovation and Hydrogen at HyDeo, could you tell us more about your institute?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to give me the opportunity to present it. I'm working for the business development agency of the Occitane region with a territory of 6 million inhabitants from Mediterranean Sea to Pyrenees Mountain, including the city of Toulouse. And in this region, I'm in charge of the hydrogen sector coordination and development. It's very important, and we create for this in 2018 a dedicated tool called HyDeo. You can see the logo just behind me, who means Hydrogen Development Occitanie. The main objective was to create link between all the actors of the hydrogen ecosystems. Just to give you an idea on what I'm calling the actors and what is the value chain of this sector. There is some actors who developed the technologies for produce, store, or consume the hydrogen, and there are some companies. There is also a lot of project to develop the infrastructure. We will be able to produce and consume this hydrogen, and also, there is some companies and laboratories who develop the technologies, develop the services around hydrogen systems to be able to make it working. Everybody speak about that, but one of our flagship projects around the research and development is also around the Francazal Technology Campus dedicated to the hydrogen sectors. In this context, the Occitanie region dedicate 150 million euros budget to develop these sectors from 2020 to 2030. And of course, in Toulouse, you have a meeting of all these actors and a unique crossing of the planet between industrial, academics, and also infrastructure of hydrogen.
Okay. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you very much. Thank you to the four of you for this. Let's now discuss how Toulouse is becoming the hub for pioneering innovative and sustainable mobility and hydrogen-based technologies in Europe. So I will be asking questions. Feel free to answer and enlighten us. First of all, let's delve deeper into some of the technologies that your companies are pioneering. I don't know, maybe Thierry, if you want to start, or
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I can do it. So, yeah, as I said before, I think the car is becoming more and more software oriented. So, what we call software-defined vehicle is a new technology that allows to centralize from an hardware standpoint, I think, most of the power computing in a kind of two or one high performance power computing platform. So actually we are at the level of two. And then of course, as we have this high power computing in place now, we develop a kind of car OS. We put an operating system in the car in order, I think, to have some abstraction layer for developing application and services. So the goal for this technology is to be able, I mean, to have a kind of smartphone on wheels where we are going to be capable, I mean, to create features, services on demand. So we want the car to evolve basically in life and not to lose in value as soon as the car is sold. So we want the residual value of the car, I think, to go up. Hence, we are providing the capacity and the capability within the car, I think, to create new services. So it could be mobility services, it could be charging services, it can be maintenance services. So I can give many examples that are going to make the car as the business as a business value. So the company now are not necessarily looking for creating a lot of volumes of car or selling a lot of cars, but we want to create new businesses through services. Hence, this new technology that we are putting really in place in the car, targeting start of production in the range of 2026. Okay, so this is what we are developing in Toulouse and the different research center that we have within Software Factory, and again we will be able to stream all the data from the car. We'll put and collect the data in the cloud, and with let's say an intelligence, artificial intelligence algorithms. I mean, we will create very rapidly the different services I mentioned before. So we are changing. We are making a paradigm shift in terms of let's say development time, because with the whole technology, it was taking around 2 years, I think, to create new services. Whereas with software defined vehicle, we will be capable, I mean, to create services within a time frame of 3 to 6 months. Okay, so in short, we clearly are pioneering, I think, this new technology. Software based with architecture, software architecture based, and system oriented applications with this SDV program.
Okay, thank you, Stephane. Maybe.
Yeah. So still in the automotive, but from a different perspective, where we are really getting benefit to the Toulouse. I would say academic local ecosystem is in the power electronics. So in order to reach the technical challenge for electrical vehicle cars, which are the cost, the size, the power density, we are considering a new generation of power electronics chips, which are the so-called wide band gap, so silicon carbide or gallium nitride, which allow to have a higher switching frequencies of the power electronics. And here, maybe something to underline, I mean, we are very proud that in July 2022, we have signed a partnership contract on power electronics together with Renault for developing a state-of-the-art architecture and technical solutions for hybrid and battery electrical vehicles. So we have a kind of interesting deal. Let's make it like this on what we provide and what do we get as business. And for this, we are supported by several cooperation projects we have been launching before this partnership with various, I would say, institutes. So we have IRT Saint-Exupéry, which is supporting us on the power electronics. We have the CIA Tech, which is also, I would say, making a technical transfer from what they have from the CEA to industry. So, for example, we have a switching battery where we switch cell by cell the power and the voltage of each cell of the battery. We are also working with CNRS, with a Laplace Lab, who is one of the famous and very good lab in the power electronic in the world. And for sure, we have also engineering school like NSET, INSA, SuperAero, where we have also, I would say, our students or apprenticeship or I would say small project with them. And also to name it, because we believe in it that we can improve our efficiency, our products design, also our product efficiency by big data. We have also a share in ANITI for the intelligence artificial, and we are, I would say, here getting benefit and having several PhD based in our company to support us in all these aspects. So, as mentioned before, for us being in Toulouse area is not by random, it's by construction, and we are really doing our best to keep, maintain, and develop this local ecosystem around electronics and software.
Okay, thank you. Jean-Christophe, maybe? We can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
So at Ascendance, we have a strong verticalization of everything that is linked to hybridization and electronic, and software part. That is pretty new for the aerospace. But in the meantime, we have all the legacy part of everything in an aircraft that is aerodynamic structure. So we have a mix of partnerships for like school like Super-Héros or ENAC that are very experienced and provide the best talents in aviation, but also other school or laboratories like IRT, it was mentioned, Laplace, CEA for the batteries also, that was a very strong capability in the benchmark, but also in the assembly of batteries. So I think the network is something to work, to develop, but the resources in Toulouse we found are fantastic at every stage of the development. We are looking from the school to the research lab, but also with some industrial partners. So we are very happy with that, and we involve a lot of time to get keep the connection with these people.
Good. So, Benjamin, from your point of view, how does this all contribute to the overall business potential within the city as pioneers of mobility and green energy? From your point of view?
Yeah, you know, there is a lot of money dedicated to hydrogen around the world and around Europe, France, and in Occitanie also. The reason that we invest all this budget is because there are some companies like you have today in the automotive sector, in the aeronautic sector, in energy sector, who are able to develop that kind of technologies. And we have a very huge economics value by developing and helping to developing this infrastructure and this development, because all these companies you have today and we have in Toulouse and in Occitanie to help them to take this wave and to develop the technology and tomorrow be leaders on that sectors. Just to give you maybe an idea and to cover all the value chain in Toulouse, there are some we can see today, the panelists are huge, good representation of all the companies there is in Toulouse, and they are able to work on that and develop the technologies that hydrogen sector needs. We have also, and I think everybody here said the Laplace laboratories or the Francazal Technologic Campus or the CEA works, etc. We have academic community who are able to develop it and to innovate and to develop and improve these technologies and make them better in the future around energy systems, fluid mechanics, chemistry, material, etc. And also, and this is a world first, we have an infrastructure in city in the Toulouse area, in the airport of Toulouse-Blagnac. We have today, and it's working, we have 5 buses working on the hydrogen. We are able to work and with a dedicated ecosystem who produce and refuel produce hydrogen and refuel the buses in the airport area and are able to decarbonize the transportation. And this is a mix of all these elements who generate a real sector with a huge potential. And at the Toulouse scale, it's very clear for us that there is a huge potential and a very interesting laboratory to develop it.
Okay, good. Thank you. I have heard good arguments for the interest of being located in Toulouse to help to increase your activity. But could you tell us more about what ineffective the being based in Toulouse has helped in pioneering these incredible technologies? Are there collaborations with like-minded businesses? What kind of tips could you give to our journalists to understand how interesting it is to be based in Toulouse for your activity? I don't know.
Okay, I can start. I think as far as we are concerned on software, there are definitively a potential of competence in the Toulouse area with the with the engineering school that we are dealing with, like SuperAero and SET and so on, INSA. So there is definitively a reservoir of competence. And those competences are embedded, the software competence that applies both to aeronautics or to automotive or to other sectors. But those competences are there. Okay, there are also labs like ANITI, I think, for AI, artificial intelligence. So this is, I just give an example, but this is a really deep technical research lab that are being installed, in the vicinity of Toulouse, where we can definitively leverage, I think, this competence. So I let my colleagues, I think, to add on top on that, but there are many labs also that we are leveraging at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe there is something that we do not mention is that Toulouse is also a good living city. So we are close to the sea, close to the ocean, close to the Pyrenees, and this is a very attractive area. And especially for the automotive market, for the automotive engineers, I would say the other area is Paris, where we have most of the engineers. And it's quite easy, between brackets, at that time it's less easy because I would say the job market is very tense. But it was very easy to get people from, I would say, north of France coming to Toulouse and to establish them in Toulouse and to stay. So at the end, to reuse, I would say, the example of Thierry about having a reservoir, but it's a reservoir who is not getting empty. It's more filling over the time. And the same is happening with I would say, with the aeronautic industry, which is also dragging and appealing a lot of engineers. And then we have also subcontractor companies which are making this cross-fertilization, supporting the different industry. So when one is not going so good in aeronautics, automotive is going good, and so on. And usually we have, I would say, transferring competence in this way. And on top, we have this engineering school and the labs, which are also supporting and helping on the development of the competence or the transformation of competence. Also, maybe we have also some campus and some excellence program on I would say on training our students, our everything. So this is really aligned. And maybe also to name it, Thierry, because you are, I would say, also responsible and the president of Totem. We have this this cluster of I would say. Industry, automotive, not aeronautics, the rest in Toulouse, which is also supporting completely this ambition and these initiatives.
No, you're right. You're right. This is there are several clusters, kind of association. I think who are helping. I think to develop the business and specifically connecting the big groups like. Airbus, Vitesco, Renault, with the, let's say, the myriad of startups that we have also in the vicinity of Toulouse and the region. So those clusters are helping, whether it's Aerospace Valley or Totem or other ones, Robotic Place. They are really helping to get the people and the company together, surrounding, I think, the big groups who are generating a lot of let's say business and activities for those smaller companies.
Okay. Jean-Christophe, I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I would say one thing is that all we are talking about right now is a notion that we love in Toulouse, is the cross-fertilization between institutions, labs, and businesses. Toulouse is definitely characterized by the collaborative work. So I don't know if you could give us some example in which your business is involved. I mean, any collaborations between this cross-fertilization between institutions, labs, and your own businesses. Maybe Jean-Christophe, if you want to.
Yes, sure. So something we we didn't talk about, or a little bit, but that is linked to labs and institutions, is infrastructure. I think, for instance, when we moved in Toulouse, we lost no employees, because I think also Toulouse gather a well-being or life way of life, and it's a very nice city. But we choose to go to Toulouse for three main reasons. The first one is the talents, be it like experienced people or young people. There is a pool of talents very dense. The second is the infrastructure, because as a company developing new propulsion system, we need, for instance, for our test bench, 1 megawatt power supply in a building. Yeah. And this is not something we can afford to pay for that kind of building, but it exists, and we found in the B612 a room where we were able to develop with the partnership of the IRT, that is a research institute, our test bench. So this is typically a collaboration, a win-win collaboration, where we fund the infrastructure, the expertise to install our test bench. On the other end, the research institute was really happy to have like a full hybrid system for aerospace and benefit from lessons learned. The third also reason is the ecosystem. We mentioned a lot the school. We have some partnership with also some local company, very expert in some domains, but we have some customers and some partners in the aviation world, because you have Airbus, ATR, Daher, and we used to say that we are in the European capital of aviation. And when you talk to customer in the US, they know where is Toulouse and they know what is made in Toulouse. And that's key for us also for developing international partnership, because Toulouse is well positioned in the map for the technology and especially for aviation in our field.
Okay. Benjamin, maybe you could tell us more about when you have some projects and you support some companies, some projects, what are the arguments you generally hear to make people come to Toulouse, and what they are looking for when they come to Toulouse?
I don't want to repeat what the other panelists said, but clearly it's the ecosystem, and it's because there is a meeting of complementary actors who are able to help to improve, develop the technologies, to recruit the good talents and the good competencies. Maybe I can add that the region is working also to anticipate and create a real training sectors dedicated to hydrogen, to train the engineer, but also to train the technician and the operators. And we have the ecosystem to be able to train them in the region and in Toulouse specifically, because on all the reason, all the ecosystem was developed just before.
Yeah, maybe I would add one more thing, Patrice. You know that Toulouse is a land of rugby, and our friends in UK knows that. So we have a lot of crunch together. So I would say that in one of the mindset in rugby is that you work with each other, and you play with each other and you play for each other. So I would say that this is what we are trying to apply within the business in Toulouse. So we work with each other, we work for each other. So the networking is one of the networking is very important in order to connect the different school, labs, companies, small companies, big companies, startups, and so on. So this is what I would like to leave, I think, for our friends in UK here.
Okay, thanks Thierry to give me the occasion and the opportunity to say again that France will host the World Cup of Rugby, but Toulouse will host the Japanese team during the Cup.
Right.
I'd like to ask one more question about the way you interact with the Invest in Toulouse team, because as I mentioned at first, Invest in Toulouse help entrepreneurs to set up in Toulouse, and now your companies are implanted in Toulouse. So how do you interact with us now?
So I can maybe start with it because Invest in Toulouse was really a key stakeholder when we decided in 2020 to move in Toulouse. It played a role in two main areas. The first one was also to help us to find some solution to what we call soft landing, to have a soft landing, find offices, find some premises where we can lead some tests. But also it was a connection with all the network we mentioned before, be it like the schools, the laboratories, some industrial players, like we signed a strong partnership with Capgemini Engineering, for instance, and we were in touch through Invest in Toulouse. So the connection with the local network that is at an international level, but also the follow-up, because we found some places for our team that was like 15 people when we arrived in Toulouse in 2020, but there were along us, and now we moved in, there is 2 months ago, to our new building to welcome 100 people. So it's a constant help and support to be with us during all the development of the company.
Right. Yeah, I can give some additional word about Invest in Toulouse. When Intel decided to restructure his R&D sites around the planet, and when they decided to shut down, I think the sites in France, Invest in Toulouse was helping us, I think, to figure out how we could, let's say, rebound as a team, as opposed to, let's say, fire all the people, give them package and let them go on the market. So I think that was Invest in Toulouse was instrumental, I think, helping us, I think, to figure out solutions, connecting us with the different big companies within France, and helping us, I think, to rebound. Okay, so this is an example when you are critical situations where Invest in Toulouse was behind us, next to us. I think as we go, I think there are also a lot of helps. I think when it gets to get some subsidies, I think from government, Europe. So there are multiple, let's say, pockets of ideas that Invest in Toulouse is assisting us with. Okay.
Maybe there is another point with the interaction between Invest in Toulouse and you all the time, and I want to thank you for that. Is that when we welcome and we want to make an edu tour, or we show the place of Toulouse and its ecosystem to the newcomers, you always open your doors, and really thank you for that. It helps us a lot. To maybe rise the end of our small talk, I'd like to ask you, each of you both, if you could sum up in one sentence any advice to businesses considering a move to Toulouse, what would it be and why? Who starts? In one sentence, an advice to businesses considering a move to Toulouse. Stephane, start?
Yes.
That's good.
So, in one sentence, a nice location with highly skilled people, with interconnection of business area allowing to grow.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, a nice town, good rugby players, and a lot of potential of growth, with an environment which is very techy.
Okay. Jean-Christophe.
Yeah, I would say I business and scientific level place with a really, really, I would say, peaceful and joyful atmosphere.
Wow. And Benjamin? Thanks, Benjamin.
How to say after this? Maybe I can say a few words about hydrogen, and if by coming here, you join a community of more than 100 actors, pure player of hydrogen in the Occitane region, and a lot of them, and maybe the biggest of them are in Toulouse, and to be a part of the decarbonization of all the mobility, and a part of the increase of renewable energy mix. Just you're welcome, and do not hesitate to contact us.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you for discussing the specificities of our city and what makes it so attractive. So I'm turning now to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's your turn to ask a question. Feel free to write question on the chat box. I think that Kate, you will be reading them to us. That's it?
Yes, we've had a few questions. Thank you, everybody. I'll try and keep them quite condensed, just to keep an eye on time. Most of it was around hydrogen. Everyone's very interested in the future of hydrogen. Most importantly, the first one's around, and we might kind of group these if you agree, Patrice, but about biofuel versus hydrogen and aviation. I think a couple of people are keen for us to delve a bit deeper into what that future looks like in terms of the fuel mix, what role batteries play, and also about how hydrogen is produced at the airport after the buses. What's the next step for the airport? I think Benjamin, you might want to pick up on those, but yeah, kind of group those together.
So who wants to born?
I can try.
Yeah,
I can try for the first question from James Tyrrell. I think we don't have to put in opposition all this new solution like biofuel and green hydrogen or sustainable aviation fuel also. We have to see them like complementary solution, because one of these solutions can't replace the actual solution with a fossil solution. This is a mix of solutions. We will be able to replace it and to have a transportation decarbonized and more efficient and more clean. So there is not well, we don't have to make a fight between them, and we must have to find the complementary, and this is what Europe tried to do with the clean aviation joint undertaking, and what also Aerospace Valley trying to do with an approach of the autonomy of aircraft. When you have to have a transportation with a low autonomy in kilometers, electric solutions are very well. But when you have to make transportation around the world, more than maybe 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers, you have to take a classic solution with a biofuel or an electrical fuel. This is the complementarity that we can find, and the battery, maybe they are too heavy for a huge plane, but for a little plane, for drones also, it could be a good solution. And the use generate the fuel, you know. This is the logic you have to take. Is based on the use you need, and the need you deduce what is the better fuel and the cleanest fuel for you.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Kate, is it okay for you?
Just to answer to the other question for the production, the Toulouse Airport. So sorry to take the floor like this.
No, it's okay.
It's a green hydrogen. There is a local production with a 1 megawatt electrolyzer, who is able to produce approximately 400 kilograms of hydrogen per day. And after buses, of course, we want to open on all the new use, and maybe tomorrow the aircraft, maybe the light aircraft to begin, and after maybe a biggest aircraft. But we need to increase the capacity of production and to refuel a plane.
After that, Benjamin, we understood all that Toulouse was the place for hydrogen, right?
Yes, one of the best place, yes.
Okay. So Kate, is it okay for you?
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Patrice, I don't know if you want to wrap up at all, and we can go from there.
Okay, so thank you everyone for your attention, for attending this roundtable. And we are very pleased to have this exchange with you about how Toulouse is becoming the hub for pioneering innovative and sustainable mobility and hydrogen-based technologies in Europe. We can all see how the city of solutions and the engineer is a hub for innovation, and we are now looking forward to seeing you here. If you ever want to come and visit Toulouse and to discover the ecosystem. And please do get in touch with Kate and her team, or contact me directly for any question. We will be very pleased to give answers. And thanks again, and have a good end of the afternoon.